so Gina, you weren't here when I started this, but I when I first looked at it, I imagined older children. I didn't think 4-year-old children were doing this until I met Penelope, and I'm not sure she's telling the truth, but anyway, that's okay.
Well, I can assure you, I actually walked in and saw them working on these
working on
items, so I can attest to the credibility.
As a school administrator, educational leader, what's the power in this for you? I mean, again, it's the same question. Why does it matter?
I mean, so for me, why it matters is I really didn't know all of this was happening to this extent until I walked into this space.
Right.
Because when you're working with someone so talented, you really shouldn't be asking even questions because it might stifle her creativity in some way at that level.
Yeah.
Like I shared that with Betty.
Yeah.
Like when I walked in, I was just as surprised because when Penelope puts on an art show, I really don't even want to know what she's planning because I know it's going to be spectacular. And so if I even asked her questions, it might stifle her ideas in any way. And I think that's really an important lesson for leaders is that when you micromanage staff, so I don't really micromanage Penelope in any way. I hope she doesn't feel that way. She might. But I don't think that's good because then students get to do things like this because when they see her being creative, to this extent, then it gives them the permission to be creative, and that's really what this is about. And myself as a person, I also don't like to be micromanaged. I like working for people that allow me to be creative, and so this may not be a typical art show, but that's what I most appreciate about it. Like walking into a space like this, like you can't walk in here and not feel different. You can't feel
you
joy.
can't. No,
you can't feel inspired. And then when you hear that 3 and 4-year-olds created this, then it really creates unlimited possibilities for anyone.
I do want to, can I do a
yeah.
That's such an important point that Gina had because in fact, as people take part in the time of creating, in the midst of creating, you should have an open mind to try something and guess what, it might come out amazing, but there might be some where it doesn't, and you learn from the mistakes that you've made, and you have to have the agency. Someone has to give you the agency to make those mistakes in order to in fact come up with something that's unbelievable. And that's a whole part of the creative process which we tend to stifle in schools. We stifle by micromanaging kids, teachers, principals. It rather than and it has to do with trust in the process of creating.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Penelope. You've inspired us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.